Welcome back to our channel. You know that old is gold, but these coins that are most valuable. You are lucky if you have one of these. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. We're talking about a US coin that many of us have seen, spent, or saved without thinking twice, the 1976 D. Kennedy half dollar. Believe it or not, one of these coins is worth $1.30 million. And yes, it could be hiding in your collection. That's right. A coin that was worth 50 cents at the time, now worth over $1 million. You might be wondering, why? What makes it so valuable? Stick around, because I'm going to walk you through the exact features that made that coin a millionaire, and how you can tell if your half dollar is the golden ticket. In 1976, to celebrate the United States bicentennial, 200 years of independence, the U.S. Mint released special versions of the quarter, half dollar, and dollar coins. The Kennedy half dollar from that year featured a unique reverse design showing Independence Hall. But here's where it gets interesting. Most of these coins were produced in massive numbers, especially the ones with a D Mint mark, meaning they were made at the Denver Mint. Over 287 million of these were struck, so most are only worth face value or maybe a few bucks. But not all of them. One rare variety has collectors in a frenzy. And that's where the million-dollar mystery begins. In 2021, a 1976 D. Kennedy half dollar sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Why? It wasn't made of gold or platinum. It was a rare error coin, possibly a prototype or a minting mistake that slipped through the cracks. Experts believe the specific coin was struck on a planchet meant for a silver-proof coin, possibly even with a unique die variety, meaning the design used to stamp the coin had subtle differences. Combine that with pristine condition, graded Ms. 68 or higher, and you've got a one-of-a-kind piece. This is what collectors dream of, the Holy Grail, and the key is knowing how to recognize it. Here's what to look for in your 1976 D. Kennedy half dollar. Located just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse. Use a digital scale. Standard clad coins weigh 11.34 grams. Silver planchets are about 11.5 grams. Look for double dies, off-center strikes, or coins with no reeded edge. Coins in mint state, especially graded Ms. 67 or higher, are what serious buyers want. If your coin looks unusual or is in great condition, it might be worth sending it in to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1976 D. Kennedy half dollar? Use gloves and avoid touching the coin surface. Cleaning can destroy its value. Sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and PCGS Price Guide are great resources. This is the only way to know its true value. You could be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands, even over $1 million. Even if you don't have the $1.3 million version, there are still many 1976 half dollars worth $100 to $500 or more, especially if they're in uncirculated condition or have unique errors. So pull out that old coin jar. Check your inherited collections. This isn't just about luck, it's about knowledge. Many people in their 50s, 60s, even 70s are finding out that a few coins they saved decades ago are now hidden treasures. Why not you? If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin treasure hunts, and leave a comment if you have a 1976 Kennedy half dollar. I'd love to hear your story. And remember, one coin could change everything. What if I told you one version of the 1980 D. Kennedy half dollar is reportedly valued at over $1.6 million? That's right, today, we're diving into what makes this coin so valuable, what to look for, and how you could cash in on rare coins hiding in plain sight. If you're between the ages of 30 and 70 and inherited coins from your parents, or just held on to a few from your youth, don't go anywhere. This might be the video that changes your financial future. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It quickly became both a tribute and a collector's favorite. Fast forward to 1980, the Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, marked with a little D below Kennedy's neck. On-screen zoom in of the D Mint mark, in fact, over 33 million 1980 D Kennedy half dollars were minted. So how on earth can one be worth $1.6 million? The $1.6 million claim comes from extremely rare errors or special strike versions of the 1980 D coin. These are not your average circulation coins. What makes them valuable includes minting errors, double dies, off-center strike struck on the wrong planchet, or coins that were never meant to be released to the public. One such coin may have had a unique minting flaw or even been a prototype, making it a one-of-a-kind rarity, hence the $1.6 million estimate. But don't be fooled, not every 1980 D is a gold mine. Most are worth about 50 cents to a few dollars unless they're in pristine condition or contain a minting anomaly. Want to know if yours could be worth serious money? Here's what to check. Look for minting errors, doubled lettering, off-center images, or missing details. Check the edges for signs of wrong planchets. Use a jeweler's loupe or magnifier. Errors are often small. Consider the coin's condition. Uncirculated or proof coins are worth more. Check sites like PCGS or NGC for comparison photos and grading scales. If you suspect you have a rare variant, do not clean the coin. That can reduce its value instantly. Here's how to move forward. Visit a local coin dealer you trust. Look for PCGS or ANA membership. Get your coin graded professionally. This is key to determining value. Check recent auction prices online for similar coins. Avoid cash for coins scams. Your coin could be worth more than they offer. And remember, even if your 1980 D isn't the million-dollar one, you might still have other valuable coins in your collection. Don't stop at 1980 D. Other valuable Kennedy halves include over 90% silver low mintage, rarea known error worth hundreds special proof versions from the San Francisco Mint. One collector's drawer of change can be another's gold mine. If you enjoyed learning about rare coins and you're ready to see if you're sitting on hidden treasure, hit that like button and subscribe. I post weekly videos about coin values, how to sell, and what to look for. Comment checklist below, narrator, and tell me in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin? We're diving deep into a coin that's causing a stir in the numismatic world. The 1989 Kennedy half dollar with a P mint mark, and why one version of it is said to be worth up to $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. If you have this coin, you might just be holding something incredibly rare. So stay tuned as we break down the story, the facts, and the fantasy around this mysterious million-dollar coin. Let's start with a little background. The Kennedy half dollar was first issued in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Since then, it's been a staple in American coinage, even if you don't see them in circulation much anymore. The 1989 Kennedy half dollar was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark. It's made from copper nickel and is not a silver coin, unlike the early ones from the 1960s. Over 24 million were minted that year, so by all accounts, it's a common coin. But here's the kicker. Some versions of this coin are showing up in auctions or stories claiming they're worth hundreds of thousands, even over $1 million. Now let's talk about the big number, $1.4 million. Where did this come from? Some online articles and coin forums talk about a rare error coin or a perfect grade specimen of the 1989 P. Kennedy half dollar. These are extremely rare versions. We're talking about a coin with a mint error like a double die, off-center strike, or wrong planchet dot, or a coin in MS-70 condition. That's a perfect mint state, untouched and flawless. But here's the truth. As of now, there are no confirmed auction records of a 1989 P. Kennedy half dollar selling for $1.4 million. The highest verified prices for this coin in top condition, like an MS-67 or MS-68, hover around $200 to $1,500, depending on demand and grading service SO. While that $1.4 million price tag might be more of a headline grabber than a reality, some versions of this coin are still worth way more than face value. Let's break it down. Here are the top 3 things that make any coin valuable. The fewer that exist, the more it's worth. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC are worth much more. Coins with minting mistakes are often worth a fortune, like double dies, off-center strikes, or wrong planchets SO. Even if your 1989 P. Kennedy half dollar isn't the mythical $1.4 million coin, it might still be worth a second look if it's in pristine condition or has a unique mint error. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my coin is valuable? Here's what to do. Examine your coin carefully. Use a magnifying glass. Look for oddities. Is the design doubled? Is the coin off-center? Any unusual features? Check the grade. If your coin looks near perfect, consider sending it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. That will determine the condition and give it a value. Research sold prices. Go to sites like Heritage Auctions, eBay, Sold Listings Only, or Great Collections to see what similar coins are selling for. Talk to a coin dealer or appraiser. Find a trusted coin shop or reach out to an online dealer with good reviews. Never sell your coin on a hunch without getting a professional opinion. You could leave money on the table. So, is the 1989 P. Kennedy half dollar worth $1.4 million? Not likely unless you've got a one-of-a-kind error or a flawless grade. But don't let that discourage you. Plenty of people find valuable coins in their change jars, sock drawers, or old collections from grandma. The key is to get educated, be curious, and take action. If you're 30 to 70 and thinking about selling your coins, don't go it alone. A little research could turn a 50-cent piece into a small fortune. Like this video if you learned something new. Drop a comment if you've got an old coin you want to know more about. And don't forget to subscribe for weekly videos about coin values, hidden treasures, and selling tips. We're talking about a 1973 Kennedy half dollar coin that could be worth up to $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.4 million. Hi, I'm and welcome to your channel name, the place where we uncover the hidden value in your old coins and collectibles. Today's spotlight is on the legendary 1973 no-mint mark Kennedy half dollar, a coin that's got collectors buzzing. Background on the Kennedy half dollar. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination. It quickly became a symbol of remembrance and patriotism. Since then, millions of these coins have been minted every year. What makes the 1973 no-mint mark so special? Here's where it gets interesting. In 1973, all Kennedy half dollars were supposed to have a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, especially for proof coins. But a very small number have been discovered with no mint mark at all, and that's what makes them incredibly rare. Experts believe these no mint mark coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint by mistake, and only a few made it into circulation, undetected, for decades. Why this coin could be worth $1.40 million inch, so how does a 50-cent coin become worth over $1 million? It's all about rarity, condition, and demand. Only one or two examples of the 1973 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark in near-perfect condition are known to exist. In auctions, coins like this, especially with historical or minting errors, can fetch astronomical prices. One such coin is rumored to have an estimated value of $1.4 million. How to check if you have 1 inch all right? Here's how you check your 1973 Kennedy half dollar. Make sure it's a 1973. This is where the mint mark is usually found. If it's missing, keep watching. A true no-mint mark coin should be solid and free of signs of tampering. The coin should be in excellent or uncirculated condition to have real value. What to do if you think you have 1 inch? If you think you might have a rare 1973 no-mint mark Kennedy half dollar, here's what to do next. First, don't clean the coin. That can ruin its value. Take it to a trusted coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify authenticity and give it a grade. Then you'll know exactly what it's worth, even if it's not the $1 million one. Now, not every 1973 half dollar is worth $1 million, but some can still sell for $20, $100, or even a few thousand, depending on the condition and mint mark. So even if yours isn't the jackpot coin, it could still be a hidden treasure sitting right in your home. Call to action. This ordinary-looking coin could make you a millionaire. That's right, a 1971 Kennedy half dollar, with a simple P mint mark from Philadelphia, recently made headlines, with an estimated value of over $1.50 million. Sound too good to be true? Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your pocket change, old collections, or even your grandparents' coin jar. You could be sitting on a gold mine and not even know it. First, let's rewind to 1971. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. But by 1971, something major had changed. Silver was completely removed from the coin. That year, the coins were struck in copper-nickel clad, no longer silver. So most people assume they're not worth anything more than 50 cents. But hidden among millions of these coins, a few extremely rare ones are worth a fortune. And that includes a 1971 P. Kennedy half-dollar that sold for nearly $1.5 million at auction. Now you're probably wondering, why would anyone pay $1.5 million for a half-dollar coin? The answer is minting errors and rare planchets. In a few documented cases, a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar was accidentally struck on a 40% silver planchet, left over from 1970. These are what collectors call transitional errors, incredibly rare and in high demand. It was graded MS67, meaning it was in almost flawless mint state condition. Combine that with the silver planchet error, and you've got a once-in-a-lifetime find. Plus, coins from the Philadelphia Mint, P-Mint mark, are even harder to find in perfect condition because they weren't handled with care like collector's editions from San Francisco. Does it look silver all the way through? If it doesn't show the usual copper ring, it could be struck on a silver planchet. Silver isn't magnetic, but clad coins might be. It's a quick way to check. A normal 1971 half-dollar weighs 11.34 grams. A 40% silver planchet will weigh slightly more, around 11.5 grams or more. Especially the hair, lettering, and eagle on the back. If your coin looks unusually crisp, it could be a high-grade specimen. If you suspect you've got a valuable Kennedy half-dollar, don't clean it. That can actually ruin its value. Instead, get it professionally appraised or graded. Reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and preserve your coin and potentially certify it as a million-dollar treasure. You can also take it to a local coin dealer or attend coin shows, but always do your homework first to avoid scams. So what does this all mean for you? If you've inherited coins, collected them as a kid, or just have a jar full of loose change, now is the time to check. Because hidden gems like the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with a P-Mint mark and rare planchet don't come around often. And with coin values increasing every year, your old coins could be worth a lot more than you think. Drop a comment below if you have a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. I'll try to help you figure out what it's worth. Like this video if you learned something new, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin collecting tips, hidden treasures, and how to sell your coins the smart way. You might just be holding the next million-dollar discovery. We're diving deep into a coin that's been making big waves in the collector world. The 1977 Kennedy half-dollar with NO Mint mark. There are rumors one of these coins is worth a whopping $1.6 million. Is it true? What makes it so special? And could you be holding one without even knowing it? Let's find out. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It's been a collector favorite ever since. The 1977 Kennedy half-dollar is fairly common. Over 43 million were struck that year, mainly at the Philadelphia Mint, which has no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which has a D mint mark. So why is one specific no mint mark coin from 1977 rumored to be worth more than a Lamborghini, a house, maybe even both combined? It's because of a combination of rarity, mint error, and a whole lot of collector buzz. You might have seen headlines or heard rumors that a 1977 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark sold for $1.6 million. Sounds crazy, right? A regular 1977 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is worth about $1 to $5, depending on condition. But there are rare varieties that can be worth hundreds, thousands, or possibly more if the coin has a major minting error, an unusual planchet composition, or was struck using the wrong die in one known case. A coin dealer claimed to have found a 1977 Kennedy half-dollar with a unique error, possibly a proof strike on the wrong planchet, that collectors went wild for. That's where the $1.6 million rumor comes from. Now, whether it actually sold for that amount is unclear. There's no official auction record, but it absolutely captured attention and shot prices up for rare varieties. Here's where things get exciting. because you might have one of these coins and not even know it.no mint mark below Kennedy's neck on the front of the coin. That's normal for Philadelphia coins. Does it have a copper-colored layer? That's standard. If it's all silver, you may have something special. Double die, doubling on letters or numbers, off-center strike blank planchet or partial striking correct metal, silver instead of clad. If the coin looks unusual, heavier or lighter, shinier than normal, it may be worth grading. Don't clean the coin. Take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. So, let's talk dollars and cents. Here's a quick value breakdown for the 1977 no mint mark Kennedy half dollar. $1 to $3, $5 to $1.25 up to $1.50, $500 and up. Rare error varieties, like wrong planchet or major die error, can go into the thousands, and in rare, headline-making cases, even higher if you're not sure what your coin is worth. Get it appraised or listed on eBay or a coin auction site and see what collectors offer. Use gloves if possible and don't clean it. Compare it to other known rare varieties online. PCGS and NGC are the most trusted grading companies. Contact a coin dealer or auction house, especially if you suspect it's an error. Coin forums and Facebook groups are full of experts who can help you evaluate it. The 1977 no mint mark Kennedy half dollar is usually just a nice collectible, but in rare cases, it can be a hidden jackpot. The truth is, you'll never know unless you take a closer look at what's in your pocket, your drawer, or your old coin jar. Check your coins, get curious, and who knows, you might just be holding on to something truly valuable. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend or family member who might have old coins, and don't forget to subscribe for more real coin stories and tips. We're diving into one of the most mysterious and valuable modern coins out there, the 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar that some claim could be worth up to $1.4 million. If you've got a jar full of old coins or inherited a box from your grandparents, you won't want to miss this. This episode could literally change your life. So grab your coins, hit that like button, and let's uncover the truth behind this valuable U.S. mint treasure. Let's start with a little history. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It became a tribute to a beloved leader and a symbol of American history. Now, fast forward to 1983, when the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced millions of these coins. You'll know it's from Philly if it has a little P mint mark just above the date on the front. So what makes one of these coins worth over $1 million when most are worth, well, 50 cents? There are 3 key reasons a 1983 P. Kennedy half dollar could skyrocket in value. Mint error or double die. Some rare 1983 P half dollars have striking errors like double die obverse, which means the face of Kennedy looks slightly doubled. These errors can drive collectors crazy. In a good way. Uncirculated condition, if your coin has never been used in everyday transactions and still shines like new. It's in what's called mint state or MS condition. Coins graded MS 65 or higher can go for thousands. Unique provenance or rarity. There are rumors of an ultra-rare prototype version of this coin that never made it to public circulation. And that one, reportedly sold at auction, reached a staggering $1.4 million. Now, these stories can be exaggerated, but there are documented cases of Kennedy half dollars going for tens or hundreds of thousands, especially when tied to mint errors, perfect grades, or unique minting circumstances. So how do you know if you're sitting on a fortune? Inspect the coin, look at the date. Make sure it says 1983 and has the P mint mark above it. Look for errors, check for any oddities. Doubling in Kennedy's face, misspelled words, off-center designs. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera zoom. Check the condition. If it's shiny, unscratched, and almost perfect, it could be mint state. You can send it to services like PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Don't clean the coin. That could actually lower its value. If you believe your coin is rare or valuable, here's what you should do. Get it professionally graded. Grading costs a bit, but it's worth it if the coin's value is in the thousands or millions. Consult with a trusted coin dealer or numismatist. List it for auction through major sites like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. Avoid selling to pawn shops or online quick cash sites. They often undervalue coins like this. Who would have thought that a coin minted in 1983 one that you might find in your change or old coin jar, could be worth over $1 million. If this video helped you, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin value breakdowns, and drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? And don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss another money-making coin tip. We're diving deep into the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar, a coin that's got collectors and investors buzzing. If you've ever inherited old coins, bought a coin jar at a garage sale, or have one lying around, you might be holding a hidden treasure. This video is especially for folks aged 30 to 70. People like you who are starting to realize the coins you've had for decades might actually be worth a fortune. So don't blink, because in the next 10 minutes, I'll tell you how to spot this rare coin, what makes it so valuable, and how you can find out if you have one. First, let's take a quick look at the background. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, shortly after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It became an instant tribute and collector's item. Originally made of 90% silver, the composition changed over the years. By 1971, the U.S. Mint had switched to a copper-nickel-clad version with no silver content. The D Mint mark means it was made in Denver. Now here's the kicker. Most 1971 D. Kennedy half dollars are common and worth around 50 cents to maybe a few dollars in circulated condition. But a few extremely rare ones are worth a life-changing amount. So what makes one of these coins worth $1.5 million? Well, in 2020, a coin surfaced that wasn't just any Kennedy half dollar. It was a 1971 D struck on a 90% silver planchet. That means it was accidentally made using the wrong metal, left over from older coin blanks. This type of mint error is incredibly rare. Only a handful are known to exist. In one case, a 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar with this silver planchet error was graded by NGC as MS61 and later offered for over $1 million. Now, the $1.5 million value comes from expert estimates and private offers, because as we all know, the rarer something is, the more someone's willing to pay. Must be 1971 D. Use a digital scale. A normal clad version weighs about 11.34 grams. A silver planchet version should be around 11.5 grams. Tap it gently. Silver coins have a high-pitched ring. Clad ones sound dull. Look at the coin's edge. If you see a solid silver color with no copper stripe, that's a strong sign. If in doubt, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. It's always worth the effort, especially if you might be holding $1 million error. People just like you have found treasure in old coin rolls, inherited jars, and even under couch cushions. One collector bought a roll of half dollars at the bank and discovered a rare 1971 D silver strike. He turned a $10 roll into thousands. You don't have to go far. Just check what you already own. If it's the real deal, you could be looking at hundreds of thousands, or even $1.5 million. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more rare coin videos every week. Got a question or story about an old coin you found? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss another $1 million coin tip. Could that old half dollar sitting in your drawer be worth over $1 million? Believe it or not, one specific 1974 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark has reportedly sold for $1.3 million. That's right, what looks like pocket change could be life-changing money. Stick around as we break down why this coin is so special, how to spot it, and what you should be looking for in your own collection or inherited stash. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. It quickly became a symbol of American pride, and collectors snapped them up. By 1974, these coins were no longer made with silver, but some extremely rare minting errors and unique strikes make certain 1974 coins incredibly valuable. The no-mint mark version of the 1974 Kennedy half dollar. Most of these were made in Philadelphia and carry no mint mark, but it's not just the lack of a mint mark that makes it worth over $1 million. What you want to look for is a coin with unusual die errors, deep cameo, or proof-like surfaces, extremely high grades from PCGS or NGC, we're talking MS-67 and above, and sometimes double dies or planchet errors in 2020, one of these incredibly rare specimens sold for a staggering $1.3 million because of its unique condition and rarity. So, how can you check if you're holding one of these treasure coins? Look just above the date on the front obverse of the coin. If there's no mint mark, that's your first sign. Check the coin's condition. Is it shiny, like a mirror? Does it have strong contrast between the design and background? Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling or other unusual features. And finally, get it graded. Use trusted services like PCGS or NGC. If it grades extremely high, especially MS-67+, you could be sitting on a gold mine. One collector who inherited his father's coin collection found a 1974 no-mint mark $50 in pristine condition. He got it graded, and it turned out to be one of the rarest known examples. It later sold for over $1 million at auction. But beware, scammers will try to offer you pennies on the dollar. Always get a second opinion, and never sell to anyone pressuring you without documentation. Most 1974 no-mint mark $50 are worth between $1 and $50, but the rare ones, especially if they have unique errors or flawless surfaces, can go for tens of thousands, or even more. If you think you have something special, visit local coin shows, reach out to reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or list it on eBay, but only after professional grading. We're diving into the fascinating story of a rare Kennedy $50 and how one version of it became a $1 million coin. The Kennedy $50 was first minted in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It quickly became both a tribute and a collector's item. By the 1990s, the coin was no longer in common circulation, but it was still produced each year for collectors. In 1992, the U.S. Mint introduced special proof sets made with 90% silver, just like the old days. These were supposed to be separate from the regular coins struck for circulation. But something unusual happened. In Denver, the Mint accidentally struck a few 1992 Kennedy $50 using the special silver proof dies, the ones meant for high-quality collector coins, but on regular planchets. This mistake created what experts call a transitional error. These coins weren't supposed to exist, but they do. Only a handful have ever been found. Now, here's where it gets exciting. One of these extremely rare 1992 Kennedy $50 was professionally graded by PCGS as a proof strike on a business planchet, and it shook the coin world. It's been valued at upwards of $1.5 million by expert collectors and numismatists. Why? Because it checks all the boxes: rarity, mint error, historical significance, and I appeal. First, check the date. You're looking for 1992 D, that's D for Denver. Then look at the details. If your coin has an unusually sharp strike, especially the hairlines on Kennedy, it might have been struck with a proof die. If you suspect you have one, do not clean it. That can destroy the value. Instead, take it to a certified coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. Here's what to do if you think you might have a valuable coin sitting around. Pull out your Kennedy $50 and separate the 1992 DS. Use a magnifier to check the details. Compare yours to known examples online. If it looks promising, get it authenticated. Even if you don't have this $1 million coin, many other $50 from the 60s to 90s can be worth $50, $500, sometimes even thousands. That coin jar in your closet could be holding a life-changing treasure. So don't wait. Check those $50, and who knows, you might be sitting on a fortune.